Good morning, Give Local York Nonprofits. It's Chris Strub, the Giving Day guy, here with Kate. I don't know where she is on the recording. Maybe there.
I'm everywhere.
She really is. I'm about to hit the coolest button in technology, which is the admit all button, but you may have missed this meeting and you are watching on replay. So thanks for being here. And we really look forward to seeing you next week at Give Local York 2024. So, Kate, you ready? Here we go.
Ready. Release the Kraken.
Wonder if Mary Yaple's ever been called the Kraken before.
That's my new nickname for her now. I
Good
see her there.
Everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Look at all those smiling, happy faces. I was just telling Kate, this is my favorite time of year. I am so happy to see everybody. So many familiar faces here and some new faces, Kate, which is also always great to see, you know?
We have about 35 new nonprofits this year. So it's kind of my favorite game of like, why now? We proved ourselves 6 years and 20 million in, and they're ready to believe us. So welcome.
So great. I'm just tapping the admit button to make sure everybody can come in. We'll get going in just a second. And shout out to all you guys with your cameras on. It's so lovely to see all of your smiling faces this morning. If you don't have your camera on, that's cool too, but you're welcome to turn it on and say hi.
How do I turn it on?
Okay, well, let's, I'm going to keep letting people in as they join, but thank you guys for being here. I want to be super respectful of everybody's time. I don't know that this call will actually go a full 30 minutes, but we'll see. The main purpose of what we're doing today is to leave as much time as we can for questions. But before we throw it to questions, Kate and I will have a little bit to talk about. Kate, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself first for maybe the one person who hasn't heard of Kate Harmon yet.
Hey, hello, everybody. It's me, Kate, your favorite, very loud, very sleepy Give Local York person. I was just telling Chris I was practicing yesterday. I did the primaries from 5 a.m. till 2, and then I had a concert last night that didn't start till 9:40. So I made it through the day with 2 cups of coffee and 1 Diet Coke. So I think we'll be good for next week. We'll see what happens. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You will be hearing from us a lot in the coming weeks, so I apologize already. Today we're going to talk about Livestream, and of course I will be following up with further details about when to arrive, how to arrive, and the recording of this. One other little tiny plug is if you're free this evening from 6 to 9, we are going to be at Gift Horse raising funds for the White Rose Leadership Institute. We have to raise money for our Federal Fellows Program as well as support all of you. So if you'd like to come have a beer, we're also using it to celebrate my birthday, which was Monday. So come on out and have a drink or some food with us tonight. And now I'll pass it over to Chris.
I need everybody to spam the chat with happy birthday, Kate. Just a wonderful, wonderful time of year. So thank you guys all for being here. If you guys don't know me, my name is Chris Strub. I call myself the Giving Day guy because I work with giving days like Give Local York all around the United States throughout the year. Give Local York 2024 will be my 5th time working with Kate and Megan and Philip and the Give Local York team. So I'm incredibly grateful to be back. This will be my 33rd Giving Day that I've ever worked around the country over the last 8 years. So I love this stuff. I can't get enough of it. And the reason I can't get enough is because I get to meet so many of you guys and help share your stories and really boost your work next week on this really, really special day. So to those of you guys who have heard my spiel before, this is going to sound very similar to the last couple of years. But to those of you who are new, welcome. And I think Kate would agree, we're never going to let you go. Like once you're in, you know? So it's just, Give Local York is really one of the greatest giving days in America. And I can't wait to be back up in York next week. So I am based here in Greenville, South Carolina. And I will be up in York next Tuesday. I got a bonus day this year because the way the calendar fell. So looking forward to spending even more time in York County and getting to learn and love even more about who you guys are and what you do. So next Thursday night is actually the kickoff of Give Local York 2024. This will be the second year that the kickoff has moved from midnight to, Kate, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 9 p.m. to 9 p.m. She is nodding. So we'll have plenty of stuff going on Thursday night to kick things off. But you guys, the main event and the big live stream activity that we'll be doing will be taking place on Friday at Wellspan Park, kicking off at 7 a.m. And I'll be wrapping things up with you guys by right around 5 p.m. I know last night was opening night for the Revs, so unfortunately there is no baseball game next week, but that's a blessing too, you know, so we'll have the stadium to ourselves. When you get to Wellspan Park, there will be ample parking right out front. You know, there's a big front gate there. There's also additional parking sort of behind right field. But because there's no game this year, I suspect that most of you guys will actually probably be able to just drive up right to that that little parking lot right in front, and you should be fine because we'll be rotating all in and out throughout the day. We do ask, so everybody, if you could just nod for me that you got the schedule and everybody knows what time you're supposed to be there. I see a lot of fun nodding. Isn't that cool, Kate? It's like a bobblehead museum there, right? That's wonderful. So everyone knows when you're going to be on. So I'm asking you to please get down to Wellspan Park just about 10 minutes before your scheduled live stream slot. So if, for example, you're on in our 10 a.m. hour, we're going to ask that you be at Wellspan Park right around 9:50 should be fine. You're going to come right in the main gate, and then you can either come up the stairs or you're welcome to take the elevator up. And then this year, you're actually going to get to that top of the stairway and go to the left. Philip and I will be set up in a different room this year. It's about the same size, but there's something going on in our usual room, which was to the right. So this year you're going to come in and go to the left. There will be signage there to point you in the right direction. You'll also see a lot of these other smiling faces who are here with you today. Everybody kind of gravitating in that direction and then coming on back. So you can't get lost. It's not a huge stadium. You will be just fine. In terms of the appearance itself, you should expect to be on with Philip for about 5, maybe 6 minutes. Most of you guys probably know Philip Given. He is best known as Megan's husband and the pretzel guy and our longtime host of Give Local York Live. Philip will be given, no pun intended, a spreadsheet with all of the responses that you guys provided on that form. And from that is where we will try and come up with a lot of the questions that we're going to ask you guys. So we won't be providing a specific list of questions that you'll be asked, but we really want this time that you'll be on to reflect what you want to talk about. That's why I ask in that form, you know, what specific things would you like us to focus on during your appearance, right? If you catch me or Philip, you know, before the stream, if there's anything specific that you want to add in, we'll be happy to do that. You should also be prepared to talk about some more general topics like what a donation on Give Local York Day means to your organization. And of course, why you choose to participate in Give Local York, whether you're joining new this year or have participated over the years or since the beginning. You are welcome to bring props to Wellspan Park, and I encourage you to do so. Some of our most fun and engaging content over the years has been when our guests bring things to show off. The York County Food Bank brings their kids dressed in a pea and carrot costume and stuff like that. So have fun with it. You know, I know a couple of our organizations will be bringing pets, which are welcomed, which is wonderful. Thank you again to the Revs for being so welcoming to us. So anything that you can bring to sort of show off, whether it's a piece of artwork or, you know, something that you guys create or something that you use every day at your organization, we really do encourage those visuals to be shown. A lot of you guys have submitted videos to be played along with your conversation, and we've really gotten a good rhythm with that over the years. So you should expect that Philip will probably usually ask you like one question or so, and then we'll probably play your video, and then we'll keep the conversation going based on what was played in the video. If you sent in B-roll, hopefully you indicated that on the form. And I don't know what Kate is saying in the chat, but I see it there. If you want your video played as B-roll, we can actually keep the conversation going over your video. Just make sure that I know that it is B-roll when I load it into our system. A small portion of you guys have been invited to join virtually. If you are a virtual guest, I will email you separately with a login to join the Switcher Studio room. It is a very simple process to join. It's actually simpler than joining a Zoom like this. You need to make sure that you give your camera permission or your computer permission to your camera and your microphone. And 99% of the time, if something is going wrong, that's all it is. So you need to either refresh, use a different browser type, or worst case scenario, if you're really struggling and can't get into that Switcher Studio room, you can always use your phone instead of your camera or instead of your computer or vice versa. And you should have no problem joining in that broadcast. A couple of you guys have emailed me and said that you would prefer to join the broadcast virtually. That is perfectly fine. If something happens leading up to Give Local York Day, if you have a scheduling conflict or you're feeling COVID symptoms or anything like that, not a problem at all to switch from in-person to virtual. Just make sure that I know that, and we can absolutely make that happen. Not a problem at all. If you are going virtual, we will usually slot you in near the beginning of the hour, so that you won't have to sit in your office and watch the whole rest of the broadcast. In terms of the sequence of, you know, the way the guests are lined up for each individual hour, we just sort of leave that up to you guys. Philip will again have the list of all the different organizations that we plan to have. So the default is that we'll go in the order on the list, but we don't have to go in that order. And usually we actually don't. So if someone has a young child or some other reason that you need to get going, just do us a favor and communicate that with the other guests who are standing there with you. And we can certainly accommodate someone changing the order within the hour without an issue. If you need to change your scheduled time, this actually right now would be a great opportunity to do that. Now I'm hoping, because I really try as hard as I can to accommodate everybody's preferences, that everybody is happy with their scheduled time. But this group here is the group that represents all the other hours. And so if you need to try and switch to another time slot, just throw it in the chat and say, hey, we'd rather go at 8 or whatever, and see if someone wants to switch with you, because we're all here participating now. But we won't be able to like accommodate switches next week or into the day of, just because of the way the numbers work out. Like if someone comes in, it gets really complicated. It's a long day. It's not quite a Kate Harmon, work the polls and go to a concert at 10 o'clock kind of day, but it is a very long day. So just bear with us there. I'm going to pause there, check the chat, and see if you guys have any questions. For now, I know I speak kind of quickly and covered a lot there, but the whole purpose of this is to be able to answer your questions. So I'm going to take a look and see. Tammy says, are we still able to submit a video? And everybody else says, happy birthday, Kate, which just makes me smile because I adore Kate. Yes, you are still able to submit a video. Please do me a favor if you're going to submit a video and try and get that to me as soon as possible. Ideally today, but definitely ideally by the end of this week. Because I do need to download all of your videos and load them into my system and then organize them all by hour. And it really adds up when you have this. So if you do need to send me a video, again, 60 seconds or less, it cannot have copyrighted material. If it does, we will get in deep trouble. It's bad. So, please don't send me a video with copyrighted material.
Yeah, you can ignore when I said I'll send you a link. If you have a video, just go ahead and send it straight to Chris so that he has those sooner rather than later.
Yeah. You can email me. Most of you guys have already sent in videos, which is great. Just one more note on the videos. It's not required. It's a nice touch, but you don't feel compelled that you need to send me a video. Don't stress about it. It's really great to just come in and share your story with me and Philip. It works great. One other note that I forgot to mention on the showing up side, we will have 2 microphones for your organization, up to 2. So a lot of you guys like to come in solo. If you want to come in with somebody else, you're welcome to do that. You can bring in other people if you want. Just note that it's not a huge space, so please don't bring in a ton of people unless we talk separately about it. But if you do bring in more than 2 people, I'm only going to have 2 microphones for you, so it does get kind of awkward if other people are trying to talk and you're trying to trade it off and stuff. So aim for either 1 or 2 people to represent your organization at the park, if possible. What other questions? Because that's what Kate and I are here for.
We have one from Margaret Malholm asking about setting equipment requirements. This live stream, guys, is just like this. So if your phone or computer has the microphone access and the video access, that's all you need. You don't need anything special on Chris's end. You'll just get a link and you'll click it. And don't click it early, right, Chris? Because then you'll be popping in on other people's stuff.
Yes, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm going to send out, for those of you who are choosing to join virtual or who are assigned a virtual spot, I will send out that link probably the early part of next week. I will put in that email that I encourage you to test that out as much as you'd like leading up to Give Local York Day. However, and this is really important, again, thank you, Kate, for bringing this up. Please do not join the Switcher Studio room on Give Local York Day before your scheduled time. So again, if you're leading off the 12 p.m. broadcast, you can join in right around 11:50, 11:55, but don't join at 9:15 a.m. because it's the same live system that we're going to be using for all the rest of the broadcasts. And you will interrupt and it'll be awkward and it'll make all of us look bad. So test it out the day before, 2 days before. It is not complicated. And as soon as you join in at the correct time during the giving day, you'll see me, I'll greet you, and you'll know you're in the right place.
I would like to add too that it's easier than Zoom because I've never had to worry about, is my mic on before I start talking? So
yeah. It's the same switcher room. So Kate and Megan will be joining in throughout the day from the Yorktown Hotel to yell at us, and have some fun and stuff, announce prizes and show off Bob and all that stuff. So it'll be a good time. Other questions? Again, I do really value your time and I won't mind ending this video early if we don't have more questions, but please don't be shy because I really prefer this sort of forum where we can answer questions for everyone as opposed to, I don't mind answering your emails this week, but this is easier for me for sure.
I think we're just getting so good at this, going into year however many with you, and then people just know to arrive and be delightful.
Yeah, there's some veterans I see on this call. I see Chelsea's here and Mary's here and Tesla's here. Katie Mahoney's back. Like, we're stoked. Like, we've got such a great group of people. And Kate, like, I know I say this too much. I sound like a broken record, but like the nonprofit community in your county and in the region is incredible. And that's what my job is to do next week with Philip, is to paint that picture and share that narrative of just how wonderful you guys are, and help continue to smash all of these records that we break year after year. Brody, what's up? You can unmute your mic and say hello.
I just wanted permission. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question about the virtual. We're going to be coming in from the river again, like we did last year, over my phone.
Love it.
And one thing that we always have a little bit of a problem with is Ted likes to see himself, like make sure he's framed. So would it be all right to use the front camera of the phone, or should we always use the back camera, which is better, of the phone?
It's just about the same, to be honest with you. That's always a little, by the way, I think Ted is Philip's favorite person, like, with apologies to Megan. Like,
don't do that. We're recording this. Megan's going to find out.
What a surprise. Yeah, it's a little tricky, Brody. If you're holding the phone here and Ted is out on a canoe or something far away, like, for him to be able to see it. But yes, to answer your question, if it's preferable to use the front-facing camera, I don't have an issue with that at all. There might be a tiny degradation in the video quality, but you guys have looked, fantastic the last few years. I don't suspect it'll be any different using the front-facing instead of the rear camera.
Super. Thank you.
Yep. Other questions?
Yes, we have a question about clipping a part of the live stream to post later. You usually do that for them, right, Chris? It's just later it's not immediate. So
Yeah.
But the stuff goes on YouTube afterwards, right? So they could go back and clip themselves.
Yes. The videos will be watchable immediately on Facebook or YouTube. So you can watch those replays even as they're live. But in terms of the actual clips, it's not feasible to clip it out immediately. But you can tell people, like, you can share the broadcast and say, we were on at the 41-minute mark of this video, or we were on at the 12-minute mark. And with YouTube, you can actually send a link that starts right at a specific time. I don't think you can do that on Facebook, but you can do it on YouTube. We'll also have the video embedded on givelocalyork.org again. So you can watch there. Jessica Freiberger says, I think we're in the wrong time group, but I just want to make sure y'all know 1 silver star is in St. Louis, Missouri. Sure. So
Missouri.
Our St. Louis call is actually coming up in a half hour. So I think maybe just the time zones might have got mixed up on your invite, but Jessica, maybe this will compel you to move to York, Pennsylvania. I think there's 40 people on this call that would love to talk you into that. That would love for you to stick around if you want. But yes, if you were supposed to be on the Give STL Day call, I'm doing that one at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. So sorry about that, Jessica. Any other questions? Okay. Well, if that's it, then Kate, let's just wrap things up here.
Yep.
And say one more time, thank you to everyone that is doing this. We fully recognize how valuable your time is, especially on Give Local York Day. And it warms my heart and our hearts to know that what we are producing from Wellspan Park provides value to you guys. This live stream production is what you make of it. So I really do encourage you guys to share out those broadcasts, both when they're live and in advance. You will see probably this weekend or maybe Monday, I will create the links to the broadcasts. So you'll actually be able to share out that link in advance. If you want to put it in your newsletter or link it on your other social channels, you can tell people to watch at a specific time. You can also, of course, share out that video that went a little viral. That was kind of nice to see, the big announcement schedule drop that I made the other day. So that was fun. I can't wait to see you guys next week in York. If anything else comes up, please feel free to reach out. Again, my email is chrisstrub@gmail.com. Kate, can we put that in the chat too, just so everyone has it, or I'll type in.
I also wanted to add, sorry, Matthew's grandma just showed up outside, so I'm confused. What's your email again, Chris at?
I just typed it in there.
Okay, perfect. Another random thing, if you haven't already done your 365 profile, please do it. It's driving me crazy. And also GiveGab accidentally sent out some emails today that says you might not be verified with your bank account. So if you get that, just log in and check. And if you have all the checks there, then you're good. They're messed up something on their end.
Thank you guys so much. I put my cell phone number in the chat as well, but the very last thing that I will say is if something goes wrong or awry next Friday, please text me. And the lesson is please text me, but also include your name and your organization's name, because sometimes I get random texts from, a random number that says I'm going to be late and I have no idea who it is or what you're talking about. So please just let me know, but do not call me next Friday because as you've seen, the production actually runs through my iPhones and devices and stuff. So if you call, I'm definitely not going to be able to answer unless your name is Kate Harmon. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next Friday. All right.
Hey, Chris.
Happy birthday, Kate.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Was there somebody saying, hey, Chris, you had one more?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
For the live stream, let's say we're going to do it virtually because we have our residents in wheelchairs and we can get more of those guys around if we do it virtually.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to see what you guys are doing? And so that we know, hey, okay, next up is Margaret E. Malholm when we're clicking over those guys so we can hit that and go. Is there going to be a way? Should I have a computer set up so I can see what's going on so I can know how to do that?
Here's exactly what you'll see when you join the Switcher Studio room. You're going to see what's called the production preview, which is everything that the people will be seeing to live broadcast. You're going to be hearing probably Philip talking 85% of the time, and I'll be talking the other 15%. The thing with the virtual appearances is, like I mentioned, we will try and slot you in first in the hour. So you're not going to get lost in the shuffle. It's not going to be like, oh, when are we going to be on? Like the broadcast will begin. There will be, what time are you guys on? 12 o'clock?
I thought we were like 10 a.m. 10, between 10 and 11. So we may be the because there may be someone who's already scheduled virtually for that time. So we come in after that person who was already scheduled. We weren't scheduled. We asked for it, but we didn't get scheduled for some reason. And so, but it would really be beneficial to us. So we would just wait. And after we saw that the next person was on, we jump in. I'd have to look at the schedule.
I'll detail exactly what's going to happen for you at 10 a.m. So I want you to join in the room right around 9:50 to 9:55 a.m.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You're going to see me probably sitting there getting things ready to kick things off for the 10 a.m. broadcast. And you're going to see Rich Smith, who is the representative from the Giant Company, who is our banner sponsor, like our headline sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
And the Giant Company is going to speak first. And then they actually have volunteers at York County Food Bank from the Giant Company. So we're going to kind of throw it over to them. And like they're, what is it, Jennifer from the York County Food Bank is going to chat.
I'm here, Chris. I'm Kelly from the food bank. That's why I was kind of listening here.
Oh, cool.
So
hi, Kelly.
Jen will be the one. Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I'm used to talking to Jennifer on the.
No, that's okay.
So we'll have them kind of chat for a few minutes. And then our second virtual guest of the hour will be Margaret Moole. Am I pronouncing that right?
It's Margaret E. Malholm.
Margaret E. Mal. Okay. Margaret E. Mal.
Margaret E. Mal.
Got it. So you guys will be on right after the food bank.
Perfect. That would be great. So that way, we could do it. I wouldn't be able to bring the residents if we were doing it live. And I just thought it would be better for everybody to get to know our residents a little bit. So
Hey, I agree 1,000,000%. You're able to see the facility a little bit more. That's why we put the food bank on in a
Mhm.
virtual spot too, you know, and we've had the food bank at the stadium also, but I think people really like seeing the food bank itself and where
Yeah.
they can go to volunteer, stuff like that. So it's, you know, I think it's a good thing to be selected to be one of the virtual guests. Plus you get to go right near the top of the hour. So
I appreciate it for your flexibility, and thank you guys for what you guys are doing. I appreciate it.
you're very welcome. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you for your time. Tara, did you have any other questions before we sign off here?
I
Too?
just wanted to, at the end, I didn't want to hold everybody up. I just apologize for coming in late, got caught up in a meeting, and I will watch the video or the recording and catch up. Because this is our first time joining live, but you know,
Nope,
we're happy
nope.
to be there.
No problem at all. I see you're also in that 10 a.m. hour. So
Yeah, yeah. So
we'll
we will see you a week from Friday.
thank you so much for being here. And yeah, I will see all of you guys next week. And I appreciate your participation.
Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.
Okay. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. And hopefully that was helpful. I will see all of you guys next week at Give Local York 2024, Friday, May 3rd. End recording.